Listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to Comedy, the podcast that helps you find new, emerging, and undiscovered independent comedy podcasts. I'm Greg, the host and curator of comedy. Today's episode is from As We Go Along. Each week, Brad and Aaron surprise each other with hilarious games, sketches, ponderings, and more. As We Go Along's mission is to bring a smile to those who may be having a bad day. If you like today's episode, make sure to check out the episode description for links to subscribe. All right, let's get this show started.
Begin.
Both now stressing out
Oh,
back.
God.
The guy's just standing there waiting. We're like, what do we do? What do we do? It must have been a good couple minutes, and we're like trying to work it out. And then I'm sort of like ducking my head through, peeking, like, just a minute, mate. And then eventually, in the most soul-crushing resolution, welcome back to the show, Aaron.
That was the worst intro you've ever done, dude. Welcome back to the show. Come on, where's the heart? Where's the enthusiasm?
I'm still trying to figure out what's going on today. Anyway,
buddy
welcome back to episode 16, guys.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
All right.
Aaron, I want to bring up a problem that's been going on social media.
Just one problem.
Yeah, just the one, I think,
Okay.
of all social media. The other day I was on Twitter, I think. I think it was Twitter.
Okay.
And I was reading a post from a girl, and she was actually bringing up past sort of traumas and issues she had with sexual assault.
Oh,
and it was
okay. This is far out of our comfort zone in the podcast.
bit of a
but sure.
darker tone. It was really
Yeah.
dark, but really sort of, brave to share her experience. And you
Yes.
get in that situation where you of course want to show support for this person,
Of course. Goes without saying.
but it just feels weird to like the post. You know what I mean? 'Cause the only option there is I like this. And so when people share these sad, bad things that are going on in their life, there's a part of me that always feels like when I'm liking it, I'm liking that the bad things are happening in their life.
Yeah, man. Oh,
There's got to
God.
be more buttons or something. Facebook has improved things a little bit because they have
The React, yeah.
reacts,
Yeah, I was just going to
which
say
helps
that,
a little
actually.
bit.
Yeah. Sometimes though they have a sarcastic tone to them, don't they? Like the cry react or the angry react. I don't take them very seriously.
Yeah, and in all other social media platforms, it's just an absolute
It's just a heart,
free
isn't
for
it?
all.
Yeah.
It's my grandma passed away,
Nice. I'm very glad that she died.
lost my job, dog died,
Good. Yes. That's a good point.
There needs to be a button that's I understand what happened to you and
Okay.
why I'm not glad that that's occurred. I want to show my support for you. And I know that's a long button, but I feel like it's needed.
I'm sure we could abbreviate that or something. Not just a dislike button though. You don't want it to just be a dislike this post.
Yeah, because then it's you're disliking the person. So that doesn't work.
There's a bit of heart to that one. Like this person saying,
And then-
my family's dead. And you're like, I don't care. I'm disliking you.
And it's here's some salt in the wound. It also gets a bit harder, for example, I feel like I'm saying a lot this segment.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable. Yeah.
Anyway, sometimes you'll see something along the lines of
Yes.
a news post posting about, say, the Ukraine war.
Yeah.
And again, you're thinking, I like the fact that you're keeping us informed
Of
about
course.
important world events,
Mhm.
but I don't like the fact that Russia just bombed a hospital with a ballistic missile, So it's just, there needs to be better options.
It
is all I'm
does.
saying.
I mean, should you now take this philosophy? Should you be posting a disclaimer comment when you're liking something?
Yeah, I guess you need to comment, but I don't want to comment. I don't care that much.
No one
that takes way too. That takes way too long.
It's just you're hearing about these travesties. You just want to acknowledge them. You don't want to have to spend more of your day thinking about them, right?
Maybe just a I support you button or something. Content irrelevant, I support you.
An acknowledge button. That's all we need. Just
Yeah, but a positive acknowledge button.
Okay.
I positively acknowledge you, but not the content of the post. I don't know. It's hard, but something needs to change.
I feel you.
Bing bong.
Alrighty, Bradley, it's time for our favorite recurring segment, and that is known as Aaron's Misadventures. And I created a little something special for you, which you haven't heard. Let's hit the intro.
I'm curious to see what you've made here. I haven't actually listened to it yet. Okay, here we go.
He's silly. He messes up, yeah? Aaron goofs it. What a klutz. Oh no. Whoopsie doopsie doody da. Aaron's Misadventures. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Hey, that's our intro music. I designed that myself.
We're making intros now, hey?
We're making intros.
You designed it yourself, yeah.
I did it. I'm like a kid who just did like the worst artwork ever and his parents have to pretend to like it.
Look, any effort you're putting into the podcast, I appreciate, man.
It took me about 5 minutes. I just downloaded a song that was royalty free and then just recorded whatever came to my head. And now here we are. Welcome.
You can barely tell. What have you got for us this week, Aaron?
This is yet again a work-related story, but different to our usual style because it's entering a new foray of my work. So my day job is in hospitality. I'm a waiter, front of house staff in a fine dining establishment. And something that our establishment prides itself on is wine. I know nothing about wine except for, I know how to list types of wine, but I don't know what I like really. I, in this instance, had to serve a bottle of wine to a table. Now, if they order a bottle, you do the whole presentation, as in you're carrying like 5 glasses in your hand, you place them all down, you show them the wine, you detail the year and like what it tastes like.
Yeah, right. So you work at like a real
stuff.
Fancy place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's I feel so out of place. But anyway, so I'm listing all this stuff about a Pinot Noir, I think it was. I don't really remember. A red wine. And I was just detailing all of it. I was showing everyone. They're like, yes. And everyone has to like nod along and agree with it. And then that means I have permission to serve this. You all approve of your order. So to serve this one, it involved a corkscrew. And right. So like twist it, like not just like a little bottle cap twist open. No, it's a corkscrew. I had the corkscrew remover. I was given that by the bartender. I was ready to go. And in I went. So I had to firstly get like the seal off of the cork, which is like it's made of silver. You have to like scratch that off. And to do that, I needed just like this little pocket knife part of it. So here I am at this table, just jabbing at this paper, trying to tear it off as everyone's looking at me. It's like 5, 6 people all looking at me do this. I managed to get it open after like a minute, and now it's time to actually get to the cork. So I put the corkscrew into the cork and I start twisting. And I'm twisting, I get it in. I'm like, all right, that's probably in far enough, I think. And I know how to open a wine bottle. I know how to open a cork with a corkscrew. I do it at home. But in this situation, I couldn't do it. I twisted the corkscrew into the cork. I was pushing it up. Didn't work. Refused, didn't budge.
Did it start like tearing?
Yeah, it did. So it started to tear off. And that was my next part actually. I kept on trying to push and I'm like, maybe it's in the wrong. So I tried to pull it out a bit. And then like it just left like a huge sharp line in the middle of the cork. Like, okay. And so what I said to this table of wine aficionados is, looks like there's something wrong with the bottle, guys. I'm just going to take this back to the bartender and get that fixed up for you.
The bottle is I'm an idiot. So you should.
Yeah. So off I go. I walk back to the bartender and he's like, Aaron, just you push it like this. And he shows me just how to do it. He's like, here, I just budged it a bit for you. Now finish the job at the table. I'm like, perfect, can do. And so I'm walking back with gusto. I'm like, yeah. It looks like it was just some angling issues, but we're good now, guys. And so I start to try and push the corkscrew in the correct fashion to get the cork out of there. However, it works so well that I used too much strength and the corkscrew and the cork went flying across the table and landed at the far side of this table of like 6 people. And they all saw it. I held onto the wine bottle for dear life, so that was fine.
Just threw the corkscrew across the table.
I did. There's a bit of gusto, a bit of entertainment value, maybe. Teppanyaki style, throwing things around. And so no one passed it to me. So I just put the wine bottle down and I have to reach over this table of 6 people. And like I'm reaching past them. They're against the wall. I have to like pretty much I'm leaning over all of their glasses and all their water, their phones, their belongings, just to grab this cork of shame and just twist it off on the side. And no one said a word at all.
That's so awkward.
It was
Can they
awful.
at least break the tension with something?
That's all I needed. I was trying to be quirky and zany of like, I made a little accident. They had none of it. I was ruining their fine experience. Pretty much, man. Oh, dude. So it broke me. It absolutely broke me. I'm still humbled by it, and I'm dreading the next time I have to open wine at a table.
Yeah, you do get in those situations sometimes.
I sure
in
do.
Hospitality.
Oh yeah, it happens. It happens. You fall under the pressure. You've been there. You mentioned one a couple of weeks ago, actually. That you had a embarrassing experience. So
to mention another one. Really, one of the rougher ones. This is when I worked at the Arboretum, which is we did like formal events. So some of them were fairly formal-ish, and I didn't really normally work at the bar, like doing the drinks and stuff. But I was for some reason behind it that day.
Sure.
And I remember this guy came up. I don't know what he asked for. Some sort of mix of maybe a whiskey and dry or something. Sure. And I didn't really know what he meant. But like, as the bartender, it's so uncool to not know what the drinks are.
Absolutely.
So he was sort of like, yeah, can I get this? And I was like, yeah, mate, no worries. Like, I've got you.
Oh, no.
And I was trying to piece it together in my head. Like, what did he want? What did he want? It's obviously something mixed with something. Just could have put those pieces together. So I was like, yeah, look, I think we ran out of, let's say dry, whatever he asked for. Went out to the back so I could really just panic and think to myself, what the hell is this? How do you make this drink? There was one of the waitresses that was there who was also helping out with the bar. And I was asking her, I was like, so do you know how to make this? Because like, that'd be great. It'll be sort of sorted. And she was like, nope, don't know how to make this. So we're both now stressing out at the back. God. The guy's just standing there waiting. We're like, what do we do? What do we do? It must have been a good like couple minutes of we're like trying to work it out. And then I'm sort of like ducking my head through, peeking like, just a minute, mate. And then eventually, in the most soul-crushing resolution, the chick who was working with me eventually just walked out and was like, looked straight at the guy and was like, hey, look, we don't know how to make your drink, but if you just tell us how to make it, we'll make it for you. I was just at the back dying. I could hear.
It's so bad that you had to ask after all of that time. But the worst part is you yourself didn't ask. That someone did it for you. It's like you got. Yeah, it makes it look like you were too scared. In the back.
It was very visible. Sometimes you just try to get by and hope you figure it out, and then sometimes you don't, and it just blows up in your face. And that was that was one of the better ones that got me.
I think a whiskey and dry isn't like just like a dry ginger ale and whiskey.
Yeah, look, whatever it was, probably wasn't that hard.
I'm sure it was just two ingredients.
I don't know exactly what it was.
Who knows?
It definitely wasn't that hard, but it was one of my first times. So give me a break, man.
You're welcome to the deep end. So, the shame, the misadventures are not exclusive to me, though it is Aaron's misadventures.
Sometimes a bit of humility off the bat can really help you out. Just if you are working at a bar.
I wish I had more humility instead of walking to that table to open that bottle of wine. I wish I just quit my job on the spot.
Yeah, that could have been better.
Yeah. And that's this week's Aaron's Misadventures, folks.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Good intro.
Thank you. I hate myself. Bing bong.
This podcast is sponsored by Snakes as Pets. If you're looking for a new animal companion but want to try something a little more exotic, why don't you try buy a new pet snake?
Cute and cuddly is so out. It's time to try something that looks like the creatures from your nightmares lost their legs and grew venom glands.
Plus, your friends will absolutely love it when you place the skinned mouse carcass into their hand and let them feed your slithery pal.
Unlike other pets that require constant attention, snakes generally don't care that you exist. And they have terrible hearing, so they likely won't know when you're crying alone in your bedroom.
So make sure to pick up yourself a new snake. It's a life partner you don't want to miss. See what I did there? Bing bong.
Alrighty, Brad. It is now time for our favorite recurring segment, and that is Brad's Marketing Playbook, presented by Aaron.
Brad's Marketing Playbook.
Yeah.
Again, growing a podcast, very difficult.
Yes,
so
indeed.
we need to think outside the box, get creative, and start to figure out some ways to get some ears pointed towards our audio.
Correct. That was well thought out, actually.
It's one way of saying it.
An uncomfortable way of saying it, actually, but it's a way of saying it nonetheless. All right, that's fine. So basically, you started this playbook, and it will be published along with our cookbook one day once we have the money.
Yeah, a lot of publishing to do.
Yeah, busy boys.
Podcast.
Busy boys. So the marketing playbook, you kicked it off with the Tinder drop and boost.
I did. The classic maneuver.
Classic, well known. So in turn, followed it up in a way by approaching a famous podcaster, Andy Lee, and to see if I could use that leverage to get an entry into the marketing playbook. It was a complete failure. Even beyond the Tinder drop and boost, it was a failure.
We had a very low bar set from the Tinder drop and boost. And
I was below it.
You seem to have still tripped over that
it was not good.
and stumbled underneath it somehow.
So
so that one didn't quite make the book.
No, the Andy Lee, that'll be in part 2 maybe if we're scraping the barrel.
But you've given it another go.
I have. This week I have attempted another go. And yet again, I'm following my strengths. I am on the ground making moves. I am roaming the streets of my big, beautiful city of Melbourne to get this done.
Yeah. I feel like Melbourne, they love the arts, you know?
They do, exactly.
They would be into podcasts.
Yeah, and this
not
is...
to say that it's art,
this
but
is
it's
art.
media,
this is
media,
arts,
entertainment. Yeah, like they would be into it. So I feel like that's a really good demographic to target.
Exactly. I'm cornering it, man. Watch out. So what I've done is I have created a new tactic called the Underground Renaissance.
Underground Renaissance.
Indeed.
That sounds good.
Thank you. Just made it up. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
We'll workshop it if it doesn't land. Anyway, what this involves is I'm hitting the hotspots. Melbourne has as a city, it's got a lot of little hidden gems, which a bunch of hipsters and wankers love to be around, like little like laneways full of street art, or like a hidden bar in a random alleyway, or you go up 3 flights of stairs and through a fridge in a bar to go to a second secret bar in the restaurant itself. Yeah, it's
all a bit of fun.
These are all very true. It's full of that sort of stuff. So people like finding things.
Yeah.
And so I'm using that. So what I did this week on Thursday before work, I left 3 hours early to do this. I had printed off about 20 QR codes to roam the streets, and I placed them at a bunch of landmarks and niche locations of Melbourne in the hopes that people will scan it and then listen to our podcast. So these are QR codes connected to our Linktree, I believe, where we have our Spotify and Apple Music connection, or any other podcasting platform. I placed it on Hosier Lane, ACDC Lane, Flinders Street Station, a bunch of like hidden little bars and alleyways, all over the shop, all in the central business district of Melbourne, where all the tourists go, all the people going to get their nice Instagram photos go. And my QR code was placed in a bunch of inconspicuous locations for people to spontaneously scan, which will take them to their relevant platform of choice and listen to the As We Go Along podcast.
Sounds good.
Doesn't
Sounds
it?
pretty brilliant.
Yeah,
I've been thinking there's something we can do with QR codes.
Man, everyone's used to scanning them these days, in a COVID world. We know what to do.
Exactly.
So
we should just, if those like check-in ones were still there, we should just put our QR code over those QR codes.
Perfect.
Anyway, it might be a bit too late for that.
Yeah, sadly, as we often do, we've missed the bubble on that one.
We are usually late to the party.
Indeed, it's fine. So I think I've got enough data now. So I did this on Thursday last week, and it is now Tuesday. I'm assuming in that time they've probably been like ripped off the walls and stuff, or taken away because it's public property.
I was a bit worried because you're not allowed to just put signage everywhere.
Yeah. Shut up.
And then it does link to us, so I feel like they could trace it back.
If you get an email, just ignore it. It's fine. Look, I'm sure it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's street art, technically.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
So how did we go, Aaron?
Well, I used the demographics of that time frame, Thursday through to Tuesday, to check how we did. In order to get a real gauge of if we had growth, I referred to the Thursday and Tuesday of the Thursday through to Tuesday, of the previous week to see how that compares. Same time frame, same days, same level of business on the streets. So I don't know if you're ready for this. We had, in the 2-week period, a 25% growth in the Melbourne region.
25%. That's a nice round figure.
Yeah, it is a very
Makes-
nice round figure. Feel free to add the applause here if you want to. It's a huge moment.
Let's see if I have it.
Yay! Yay! Thank you. Stop it. Oh my God. Yes. So it's a success for the marketing playbook. I think I'll take no further questions on that.
Yeah, sounds good. Again, I am a data analyst
Okay.
as for work.
Yes, you are.
It makes me feel, usually when you see an exact 25%, it makes you feel like maybe we had just 4 listeners and then it increased to 5.
Shut up.
But, maybe not. 25%, that sounds pretty good to me.
It's 25%, man.
Cool. Well, good job.
Thank you. I'm
That's,
sorry. Did you get anything for the Tinder drop and boost? I don't think so.
It's still debatable. We might have had a few. It's just hard to tell.
Maybe. Whatever. All I know is I got us a new fan or a new person who clicked on the QR code, then saw it was a podcast and didn't just immediately close their phone. No, they opened Spotify or Apple Music, maybe, and listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And we're getting our name out there. They might not listen straight away. We might see them pour in over time.
You're welcome. So Melbourne fans, hello. It's me on the streets. I'm the hidden gem.
And I do wonder if that one listener was the authorities looking to track us down.
But then they're not going to because they're such
listening
fans.
to find information of our addresses. Yeah, maybe they become fans in the process.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take what we can get. So all I'm saying is I think it's a worthy contribution to the marketing playbook.
Well, not bad.
Okay.
Also, you can do a thing where you can track QR code scans
I'm not smart enough for that.
and links. But anyway, we'll do that next time.
Yeah, it's work in progress. All right. Thank you.
Cool.
Bing bong. All right, Bradley, it's time to own up. It's time to chat.
Cool.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. How are you?
No, I'm good, thank you. But it's not about our emotional state right now, okay? If it was, I would just like your post online or something. But no, this is about your chase of women, a panel of women for our podcast.
Oh,
yes.
How's it going?
Yeah, how's
As a
that going?
follow-up?
I really thought you would be ready for this. I thought you'd be sweating for this episode because this was your due-by date to give me an update. I told you in episode 14.
Was it?
Yeah, yes, it was. Episode 14. I said you either next episode or the one after.
Time flies, doesn't it?
It does fly, but I hope in that time of time flying, you found lots of bodacious babes to have on the podcast. So status update. How's that going?
Yeah. Well, yep. I'm still sorting through the applicants that rolled in.
How many?
A number.
Wow.
And
wow.
yeah, trying to get to the short list. I think to remind you, I have been sick this week, which has put a bit of a spanner in the works. So a little bit out of commission. Work's been a bit busy.
What about the week prior?
Week prior as well, just catching up from the week before that where I went away.
Yeah, wow.
It's been pretty full on. But yeah, we'll try to get through all the different women that applied. A lot of people, heard last week that I was looking.
Of course.
So we're quick to jump in to the inbox.
Mm-hmm.
And not our shared inbox, but
we didn't know.
Direct
yeah,
one.
They're going directly to you. They're finding you online. They're doxing you and talking.
Well, they don't want to they know that I'm organizing it. So I think it should be good. Definitely looking forward to a panel. I think what might be good though is to keep it, to maybe to more people we know, like people we have close relationships with.
Because you feel less embarrassed about asking them?
Well, yeah, maybe. Like obviously we could have like a wide range of people from all over, all walks of life have shown interest, but
of course,
maybe just keeping it in like close friends and family as 3 people might be good, just because we already have that pre-established connection and energy and
right. Okay. So it's going to be, as you said, a close friend, your sister, perhaps.
Yes. Yeah. Bren might be free.
Good on her.
See how that goes. And yeah, I think we're all good.
Okay.
Maybe not next week.
Not next week? that was my next question, actually.
I think we'll save it for 18.
18? Episode 18? Everyone,
18 feels
all
right
the
to me,
podcast listeners hearing that, episode 18, we may have a panel of women.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely have it.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. Do not cut that out of the podcast, Brad. We will definitely have a panel of women for whatever segment Brad needs a female voice on.
You know, I do have to actually flesh out the idea of the segment as well because it is still remains quite a vague idea I've written down.
You got me too excited. I'm sorry.
Then should be good.
I'm full steam ahead with this idea. I don't care. You just guns blazing. Let's go.
Looking forward to it.
Good boy.
Is your girlfriend busy in the next couple of weeks?
Oh, I don't think she'll do it. No.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Plenty of other options.
That's exactly right. Lots of applicants. No issues at all. Easy.
Yep.
Easy.
Cool. Bing bong. It is time for our outro segment, which have we skipped one? Did we skip one?
What?
Or have we done it every week so far?
I think we've done it hopefully every week. Let us know if we haven't.
It's time for our weekly outro segment.
Yes.
We're doing browsing history.
Yeah.
Once again, one of our favorites.
Oh, I love it.
Aaron's going to bring us something from his browsing history from the last week and share a bit of his thought process. I feel like this episode has been a lot of Aaron.
Yeah, no, sorry about that.
This might be the most Aaron heavy episode we've had.
I'm taking a week off, man. I'm tired.
I've been sick most of the week, so he's upping his game.
Oh yeah.
He's got me covered.
Although, mind you were willing to offer, you had a browsing history that you can do and you might do next week anyway. And you were like, oh, maybe I should just do this one since it's been so Aaron heavy.
I did have a backup.
Yeah.
But you demanded this must go this week.
It has to, because I'm so sick of us doing something that's relevant and then it falls to the wayside. So what I was looking up is something that has taken the world by storm, the biggest event right now in the entire world. And I'm not talking about Queen Elizabeth dying.
I was thinking the Ukrainians pushing the Russian forces out of their territory.
This is all due respect, thoughts and prayers and all of that. This is bigger. Mm-hmm. I looked up in my browsing history, and it took, in the end, about 2 hours of my life away. Harry Styles, Chris Pine, spit.
Yes, I have seen that.
I've been chomping at the bit to bring this up with you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
So, I'll explain it first. So basically, for people who aren't aware, who aren't in the cultural zeitgeist like we are, at the Venice...
Finger on the pulse of society.
Exactly. The Venice Film Festival, they were showing Don't Worry Darling, the new Harry Styles, Chris Pine, Florence Pugh movie. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding it. I can't be bothered to get into it. But bit of beef between Harry Styles and Chris Pine, allegedly. And this culminated with, at the film festival, as Harry Styles entered, he walked past Chris Pine's seat and he knelt down and did what looked like it could have been spit. He could have spat on Chris Pine. And Chris Pine's reaction could lend itself to have been spat on. And
he did sort of look down at his lap kind of thing and look a bit shocked.
Exactly.
And quickly went everywhere. Everyone was trying to figure out what actually happened, what went wrong. Mm-hmm. There were some very funny memes of like someone edited
the goat.
Harry throwing a goat on him, or like his head was a lizard and spat some kind of acid on him.
Exactly.
People on Twitter are so funny.
Oh man, I saw a lot of it on there. This dive was a deep one. I looked up the original thing and I was just like, reading it on like TMZ or something. And then I just kept on going. I was like, I need to get more angles. I was looking it up on Twitter. I saw different camera angles, all of this stuff. So Brad, did Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine?
I mean, look, I feel like he definitely didn't, but...
What?
And that was... I feel like he definitely didn't. I heard things that Chris Pine was just looking for his sunglasses, or his manager came out and said it was ridiculous. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble, but I don't think he spat on it. It would be quite the bold move to just spit on someone like that.
Yes, it would. And you know what? I think he did it. It was bold. It's brazen. But the look on Chris Pine's face is like, I can't believe you just did that. Like, it is a genuine shock. It's not like an anger. It's just like a, dude, did you really just spit on me kind of face? Not a sunglasses face.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
There's also that video of Harry Styles explaining the movie with Chris Pine sitting next to him, just looking so blank.
To be fair, the way Harry Styles explained that movie was not good.
And Harry Styles is just like, yeah, it's a movie and it really feels like a movie.
It's like the kind of movie you'd see in a theatre, like a movie.
That's a good Harry Styles.
Thank you. We should add that to the impression wheel at the end. Well, I am firmly, passionately, this is my ultimate conspiracy theory now. Harry Styles spat on Chris Pine.
Team spit, you reckon?
I'm team spit.
Well,
You're still sticking to team didn't spit?
This is why we need a third person. We need someone to break all the tiebreakers.
It happens so often. Well,
it happens way too often. We just end on each side of the fence.
Maybe
and it goes nowhere.
We'll get some feedback, I'm sure, in the week, as we always do, from our lovely fans.
Be sure to write in, let us know on our socials.
Yeah, team spit.
You team spit? Are you team no spit? Again, by the time this comes out, this will be already.
Yeah, I'm already pretty urgent about this one. I'm hoping we're scraping in time. We'll see. We're probably the second we touch something, it falls from relevancy. So look, I don't know. Bing bong.
And it is outro time. Yeah. It's an Aaron special episode, so you know it landed on Aaron to do it.
That's right, listeners. Today. You thought you were done with me. You thought I was going to be shutting up, letting Brad have a minute. No, sir. No, it is all me today. It is 100% Aaron. We are keeping this going.
And he will be doing the outro like a movie trailer.
Yes. Okay.
Aaron, take it away. Bring us home.
Okay. This summer, watch live as Brad and Aaron bring it all. Bring the action. Bring the hot stuff to the As We Go Along podcast. They've got fun. They've got games. They've got 3 women, allegedly. Now,
maybe the week after.
Watch as they just dominate the podcasting world with a total of 3 listeners from Melbourne each week, coming at you live in cinemas on 13th of September. Same day of recording. Rated PG-13. No swearing. That's pretty good, right?
Yep.
Thanks again for listening to Comedy by Indie Drop-In Network. If you would like to nominate a comedy podcast to be featured, just send me a tweet at Indie Drop-In. I'd also love to hear if one of our featured podcasts is now your favorite show. Indie Drop-In survives off ad revenue and listener donations. If you would like to contribute, please consider buying me a coffee. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/Indie Drop-In. If you look at the very bottom of the episode description, you will see a link. Indie Drop-In has many other shows that you also might like. Just go to indiedropin.com. All right, we'll see you next week.